Here we go. Good morning. We're going to start our meeting of September the 17th. And we always traditionally have a silent prayer and then a pledge of allegiance. So if we could take a moment for a silent prayer. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could have introductions.
Christy Rischel, Assistant Clerk.
Leslie Hervey, Clerk to the Board.
Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reese.
Jeff Aludo, County Administrator.
Patrick Dressing, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney.
Stephanie Summerall-Dumas, Vice President of the Commission. And at this time, I'd like to make a motion to excuse President Denise Driehaus.
Second.
Commissioner Summer-Dumas.
Yes.
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous session.
Second.
Commissioner Summer-Dumas.
Yes.
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Thank you. We have somewhat of a short meeting, but we have some important people here today. Not that you all are not important, but we actually were going to have a public hearing at 10:15. I'm going to move forward with, as you know, Commissioner Reese, the third Thursday. We always have Inspire Initiative, and I'd like for them to come up and do that first if we could, because they are here. So, and our Inspire Initiative group today is Brothers. Did I say that right? Brothers Incorporated, and Alice Bledsoe has been coordinating along with Robert Bell, who's over that initiative also. And if you'd like to just say a few words.
Good morning, commissioners and everyone. Well, you've already told them it's Brothers Inc., and we're excited to have them here today and to have helped them because they help hundreds of youth every weekend, well, during the week as well. So I would like to invite them up right now.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us. My name is Ronell Ellison, and I'm the president of Brothers Inc. Youth Initiative, also CBA alum. First, I just want to say that we're honored and grateful for the generosity of the Inspire grant. It definitely went to good.
You pull your mic up just a little.
What's up, Jeff? It definitely went to good use. I just want to start off with a little bit about Brothers Inc. We used to be considered the problems in our community, and now we want to be part of the solution. We're not proud of some of the things we did in our early years, but like everybody else, you live and you learn. God has graced us with an opportunity to provide for these youth in the city from our lived experience, and we've been blessed to be able to do that for the past 3 years, impacting about 2,000 kids a year with our different services and programs. So I have a prepared statement I want to read. Brothers Inc. believes that school supplies are vital for underserved communities as they reduce barriers to learning, boost student confidence and engagement, foster a sense of belonging, and improve academic performance, ultimately helping to bridge the opportunity gap by providing equal footing for all students. Without essential tools like notebooks, pens, and other materials, students can feel embarrassed, fall behind, and be less motivated to learn. Brothers Inc. prides itself on being able to serve as a consistent resource to the Winton Terrace community. With your support, we were able to equip 300 kids from the community with field backpacks. We also provided supplies to teachers at Bond Hill and Rockdale academies to ensure their classrooms were stocked. We also run an after-school program where we have served 100 students in Roseline and provided essential supplies for us to continue those efforts. It goes without saying that we appreciate your support. More importantly, we appreciate your partnership in ensuring that kids are set up for success. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't leave.
Okay, all right.
You're all about what Inspire is, and so all the children that you have impacted, and more than you can even imagine, you said for the past 3 years.
Yes.
And so the types of activities which you talked about, what your goal and mission is, but at the Kids Fest, the Back to School,
Yeah.
Project Surge, and Saturday Hoops.
Yeah.
So I thank you so much for.
Also, more importantly, the Jingle Jam that we partnered on back this past December.
Okay.
Yeah, we met with Jeff and Anson, and it was great. We gave away 800 toys, provided food and nourishment for the community, and it was just a day filled with positive energy. Oh, we even gave away some coats and socks, and it was just a great day. And we look forward to more partnerships with Hamilton County. Oh yeah. Also, we've also provided 300 food boxes last Thanksgiving for Witten Terrace, and with the projection that we'll do 350 this year.
Great.
That's in November.
Great.
So, thank you.
Commissioner Reese.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing them forward today. And I'm glad you did mention the partnership. I know Jeff had talked to us about, even though we acquired the Mercy Health building, we weren't in it yet. And he said, would you all be okay with this? And we said, more than being okay with it, this is the beginning of an ongoing partnership in that building, and hopefully be able to do the Jingle Jam as an annual
Yes.
event and make it even bigger as we partner with you. But I wanted to just thank you for the work that you're doing. I'm very happy to also support what you're doing. I remember one of your members said, "You got to get with Brothers Inc." I said, "We're going to get with him. We're going to get with him."
That's it.
And, we were able to put some money on the table, not just talking.
Yeah.
But what you do in the community matters. I know you were out in Lincoln Heights, and you just been countywide. Wynn Terrace, in a space that really needs you as well. So I just really can't say enough about Brothers Inc. And you just continue to grow and impact more and more people, and particularly at a time like this,
Yes.
where people say, what's going to happen with our youth and who's out there? You guys are on the streets. You have real lived life experience. Now you've got some resources, because a lot of times people be out on the streets helping people, but they don't have no resources. And now you've got some resources, and I'm hoping to continue to expand that, Jeff, as we look at other things with our Office of Youth. And thank you for Inspire, but let's see if we could even do more, because you all are out there making a real difference with young people, and particularly young men.
Yes.
Not exclusively, but particularly young men at a time when they don't really know where to turn. So thank you, Brothers Inc. Thank you, Commissioner Dumas, for bringing them forward today. And Ms. Alice, thank you so much for this. And I don't want this to be the last time. We want to really partner and have a good partnership with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're going to come down with you and take a picture.
Okay. Well, thank you. Yes.
Okay, we're gonna start right here. Okay, start with this one. Yep. 3, 2, 1. And sir.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think Alice and the Inspire Initiative, along with Robert Bell, have helped almost 30,000 young people. So it was certainly an important initiative. So we'll move right on. We have a public hearing. And you're here for that? Okay, and let's get started.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
John Huth with the Planning and Development Department. I'll be briefly presenting this zoning case for you. We do have a PowerPoint presentation. So we call this a major revision. It's an existing retail zone district that we are considering. It's located in Green Township. The purpose is to modify one of the previous conditions from this board back in 2002 when this project went through a zone change. So looking at the screen here, you can see the vicinity map. Again, like I said, it is in Green Township. It's just on the south side of Harrison Avenue, just east of Rybolt Road. It's next to White Castles, if you know the area. That large parking lot across the street is part of Kohl's and Meyer. Currently, this is a Mike's Car Wash, and what they're proposing to do is build a canopy to provide shelter for their employees. So on that screen, if you can see that little yellow rectangle, that's about where this canopy would be situated. So the Board of County Commissioners condition that would need to be modified is one that stated that all structures would have to be 30 feet from the edge of easement. That edge of easement is basically that private drive that goes back. It's not a private drive, but an access drive that goes back and provides access to the car wash and to the shopping center just to the west there. So this canopy would actually be 10 feet from that easement line instead of 30, so 20 feet closer. And that's why it's in front of you today, to modify that condition. So this is a couple photos of the site. This is the first one. The top one is looking from Harrison Avenue. You can see Mike's Car Wash. The canopy would be in the back, so it would not be visible from Harrison Avenue. And then the bottom one is where the canopy would be located, in the back of Mike's Car Wash, about where that truck and trailer are located. Now, just backing up once to look at that aerial photo again, we don't believe that this canopy would negatively affect any of the surrounding properties. It is a commercial and retail office corridor. There are some multifamily units just to the west of this development, but that apartment complex sits quite a bit higher than Mike's Car Wash, and there's, as you can see, woods that exist between the car wash and the apartment complex. So again, we do not believe this would negatively affect any of the adjacent properties. So we are recommending approval, as did the Regional Planning Commission and the Rural Zoning Commission as well. We did find it's consistent with the Green Township Land Use Plan, the Thoroughfare Plan, and the zoning resolution. Green Township trustees did submit a letter recommending approval. We did notify the surrounding properties. We did not receive any opposition whatsoever to this canopy. Again, that's what we're just considering is this canopy. And I know that was brief. That site plan on here does show the canopy in yellow. I'll be glad to try to answer any questions.
Thank you so much for your presentation, and you basically answered the questions that I had as it relates to the adjoining properties and the apartment building and whether or not it would interfere and whether or not you had approached anyone as it relates to the interference. So you answered that for me. Commissioner Reese.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you for addressing the local community concern, and definitely will support this. I know I spent a lot of money at Mike's Car Wash,
As do I.
and they have canopies in some of the other areas, and I know having them stand out there in the sun and the cold, that's pretty rough. And I always wondered, I said, man, do they got any fans? Do they got any heaters or anything like that? And to know they ain't got no canopy at all over there.
Tough job.
So I would definitely support that.
Okay, thank you. Our next steps, I know I have to close the hearing.
And request a resolution from our office.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'd like to make a motion to close the hearing.
Second,
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes,
Commissioner Reese?
yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes.
quickly. We don't see John down here a lot anymore, and I just want to thank John for all the work that he does up in planning and development. John's been up in the planning and development certainly since I've been over in this building. So it's
25 years coming up.
25 years. One of our senior employees up in planning and development, and he just does a fantastic job with the technical side of all of these zoning and planning issues, as well as making sure the board policy is carried out as well. So John, just wanted to thank you for that.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. Thanks
Very
again.
good, thank you. Thank you for your work. Okay, so do we have any public comments or anything online? No? Okay. We'll move on to comments and motions of the commissioners. And I just have a short report. Actually did not have any special events or meetings this week. There was, of course, a Healthy Aging Day at Word of Deliverance, and both my staff attended. Lots of people, lots of services provided. I saw it all over the news, and I know Commissioner Reese will say a bit more about that. But that would be it for me for my report. Thank you. Commissioner Reese.
Thank you very much. Wanted to acknowledge the 45th anniversary of UMADOP. They had a celebration, and want to thank my colleagues. We had a proclamation that our office delivered to them on behalf of our board that they were able to read during their event. I believe UMADOT read the proclamation from all three of us, so I just wanted to highlight that and congratulate them for 45 years. That's a long time. The other thing that I wanted to also highlight that yesterday we also had a Employee Appreciation Day, and I know that my staff had a chance to participate. Unfortunately, we had a situation where it was on the same day as the 513 Relief Healthy Aging. My understanding, Mr. Ludo will correct that next year, because we want to make sure those who also work on the 513 Relief Bus can also participate. But I want to thank our board, because this is something that our board came with, saying we want to appreciate our employees, and we put it in the budget. I think is very, very important. And also we get a chance to recruit some employees, because people start seeing what we have going on. They said, man, I want to be a part of that. And I want to be a part of Hamilton County. So I know Bridget Doherty helped lead that, and I want to commend her and everybody that participated in putting that together. So just wanted to thank them and thank all of our employees. I think we've got some of the greatest employees that do a lot of good work for our county. So want to thank them for that. I also wanted to highlight Commissioner Dumas. I know the tiny homes is one of the things you've been asking about for some time, and I support that for veterans. And I did, my staff did meet with CDF, Luke Blocher and Blocker, and Holly to discuss the tiny homes. And so really want to get more. I was a little disappointed that we're unable to kind of move forward like we were thinking, but certainly interested in hearing what the board has to say before I made any decisions. But I think we all three said we'd like to see the tiny homes happen here in Hamilton County to help veterans. So looking forward to hearing from you and Commissioner Driehaus on your take on this as well. The other thing is, as was mentioned, the 513 Relief Bus was hosting one of our major events, our Senior Citizen Healthy Aging event, and it took place at the Word of Deliverance, Bishop Hilton's church, and it was great. It was packed with seniors. We had over 40 partners. I'm very excited about it. Our bus, the goal and the mission of this bus has always been to bring the resources in a mobile way, bringing Hamilton County offices with the resources to different parts of our county that doesn't have the offices, and be able to connect them with resources that we have or know about, and be able to help them, in many cases on the spot, as from economic standpoint, but then also from a health standpoint. So we have a medical on the back side of the bus, and then the front side of the bus has all of the opportunities to have different services. So the bus transforms into what the needs are of the citizens. This was groundbreaking. I understand Columbus now is running with a bus, but we were out there and have been out there since 2020, and we have helped thousands of people. We have connected thousands of citizens with hundreds of millions of dollars, free medical with no co-pays, saving lives, and those kind of things. So we do special events. I said, let's do some special ones, even though we're out there all week. Let's do some special ones that we can focus and target. So this one was for the senior citizens, our second year doing it. And it was done in a great job. Trevina and Arlene, Scott, Najee, and so many others, and our partners. But the bus is to be actionable, and it has been. One of the things I was very happy, and I said it, I think last week or the week before, there's a thing called unclaimed funds. First, we was doing rental assistance, did $100 million. Then we did small business. We did that at Black Tech Week. We've done Disability Day, helping people connect with the disability right on the spot, disability benefits. We're getting ready to do cancer. We're gonna have free mammographies and cancer screenings, not just for mammographies, but a groundbreaking way to do cancer screenings in partnership with UC Health at no cost, because cancer rates are just too high in Hamilton County. They're going up, and we've got to come together to get them to go down. With that being said, we did a Office of Youth. We do a component for the Office of Youth. And so that's something that some of the pictures that happened yesterday, people were coming and talking about the great things that have happened. But we launched unclaimed funds because there's $4 billion in the state. There's over $200 million here in Hamilton County out of the $4 billion. The auditor now said that they have another $2 million in addition to that. And so the people want to know, how do I access it? I've been hearing about it. And so we launched with the 513 Relief Bus, Unclaimed Funds Initiative. And what does that mean? We as a board, we voted last week for the unclaimed funds from the government. And Jeff had it on the calendar, and this allows Jeff Ludo and his team to reclaim any funds that belong to Hamilton County. And we voted for it. But now we're taking another step to help the citizens reclaim their funds. And so I thought yesterday was a great time to launch it because senior citizens have been preyed on. They're getting people call them, ask for their social security numbers, ask for their bank account numbers. They have been targeted for fraud. But if you came to the Healthy Aging event, all the people that were there, including County Council on Aging, they were there to help you know that these are real opportunities. So I want to thank, we pulled together a quick meeting to try to see how do we have a process put together. And I want to thank my Chief of Staff, Veda Stevens, and I want to thank Jackie Taggart Boyd, who actually, before she had this job, she actually went and was getting her unclaimed funds. So she went through the whole process and knows the ins and outs of it and volunteered to help. And then John Elston, I want to thank you, and Director Patton getting on the call, and Najee and everyone from JFS, because you will be you have the laptops, you'll be able to answer the questions. We'll have a notary that will be there. You only need to be notarized if you got $3,000 or more, but there are some people. I saw somebody to $26,000. I said, wow, and they didn't miss it. So we'll have a notary person there, and I know our clerks have also volunteered with the bus to be notaries sometimes, so maybe some of those days will help. But we now have an aggressive way in Hamilton County. If it's $200 million, we want to return the $200 million to the citizens. That's held by the state of Ohio. We also had Jill Schiller, the treasurer, was on, and her team on the Zoom call that we had, as well as we've talked with the auditor's office. The auditor was on the scene yesterday, Jessica Miranda and her team. So we've got the auditor, the treasurer, all the folks, but most importantly, we got JFS there with those computers, and we have good experience at connecting people. Senior citizens, you can't tell them, just go home, get on the computer. We bring in the computers. Just go home and scan. We're bringing the scanners like we've always had. Just go get some copies. We've got the copier right there. We want to make sure that the folks that live here, they got I know they could use the extra money, $200 million. Now, this is not just for senior citizens. Anybody, if you could look, we'll better look your name up if you live in Hamilton County, and we'll be able to see what you might have available. So there's some other things, Mr. Ludo, that we'll talk about. Death certificates. Some people were married. The person is deceased. You have to show your death certificate. We talked to Health Commissioner Kesterman. We already have birth certificates for free. A death certificate requires a little bit more, but he's willing to work with us. Mr. Ludo, we might have to do a look at, Commissioner Dubas, we might have to look at one of the things we allow for birth certificates. He said we might have to just add, we also allow if they have a death certificate. But he said his team, the health department, his team would be willing to have the applications so that people can get those. And I think that'll be, I've heard from funeral home owners who said that would even be helpful in general. So I just wanted to say that our bus is on the move. We have been helping a lot of people. And I want to thank everyone who participated and came out and made this a success. People can go to 513relief.org for the next location. I think we're in Silverton today, but we won't have it today, but we will starting next week. I think Mr. Nelson said they're excited. They've got a process. Nobody can beat our JFS strike team. I call them the strike team because they know how to help and get the people the direct help. So just excited about that and wanted to make that report. And let me just say, I saw people who told me, a lady stopped me after she visited the area over there. She came out and said, I got $263. I didn't know they had my money, you know? So it was just a great thing as we saw. There was another gentleman, we didn't start till 10 o'clock. Gentleman got there at 9:55, waiting for us to get open. And I want to commend, I think it was Waterworks was there and our sewer district. The guy jumped up at 10:05 and told me, they don't reduce my bill by 20% and thanked us. So this stuff is really helping what we're doing as a county. So just wanted to highlight those things. Our next stop, some upcoming things. October 6th, the 513 Relief Bus, we will be in Deer Park with free flu shots until we run out. Okay, Deer Park will have free flu shots in a partnership with Public Health and Kesterman's team. And then October 15th, we'll have our Cancer Awareness, Prevention, and Education Day. We'll have the Cancer Caucus, the free mammograms, and also other screenings for cancer that's absolutely free. And we'll be doing that at the Urban League, across the street from the Urban League. And then October 22nd, we can't forget, I think we have over 200 people applied. We have our annual pitch night from 4 to 8 at Memorial Hall, so I'm excited about that. And then the last thing I did was, well, I won't say the last thing, but the last thing I will announce, I want to congratulate Pastor Casey Smith, his 37th anniversary, pastoral anniversary, and I did get a chance to attend that and congratulate him. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. As you talk about transformation, I was thinking about having the senior aging out at Word of Deliverance. It's not only a church, but it's also a family life center, so it's very conducive to community activities. So this particular one was outside and inside, so it can be turned over at any time for community to use it. So I thought it was a great site to use. So we'll move on to Jeff, your report.
Thank you, Commissioners. Just a very brief comment. Just want to double down on Employee Appreciation Day and thank the Employee Advisory Committee as always for volunteering to help make this a really great day for employees. We had great weather, obviously. I want to thank Bridget for helping to kind of steer this, Josh and HR for helping to shepherd this as well. It's really one time a year. It's a very small investment. It's really the only time a year that we have the ability to get employees from all departments together just to recognize how much we appreciate them as employees. And I think based upon the feedback that I received, and I know the board receives, it is very strongly appreciated. So I want to thank the board for your leadership and vision on that. There are 2 by-leave items, commissioners, but these are appointments. Typically, the board would introduce those. So
Yeah, I'll be happy to
thank
do
you.
those. Okay. By leave 1 is a resolution appointing a member to the Oral Health Coalition, Judge Carrie Bloom. I make a motion to accept her.
Second.
Commissioner Dumas,
Yes.
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Thank you. And by leave 2 is a resolution reappointing and appointing members to the Hamilton County Mental Health and Recovery Services Board, Hannah Llewellyn and Dr. Ruby Castilla Puentes. I make a motion to accept both of them.
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas.
Yes.
Commissioner Reese.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner?
Yes.
Sorry, but I'm so used to you doing the second, so that's
Okay.
why. But I do want to thank them for serving on the board. I also want to just put out one more time on the oral health group. I know they tried to look at it, but we got to keep looking at it. I'd like to be able to bring mobile oral health to the different areas in the county, even if we did once a year or twice or every, once a year or twice a year. I want to see it. We have our bus is ready to go, and I've been hearing different things. We ran into another group that has a mobile unit, and they've been operating it, and they've got partnerships with Procter and Gamble, and they've got when you get there, you got your Crest and your toothbrush and all that, and they're able to have someone on their mobile bus. So I want again to see if we can revisit that, and Jeff, maybe revisit it and look at. I'm not stopping on it. Oral health is so important, and if we could provide, I don't want to look up and see Columbus got it, and then we go run to we can do it now. I'm looking for us to be the leader of it, and I'm hoping that we can try to think creatively. People say, well, we can't do it, and I've been in the world now. Everything they told us we can't do, I'm starting to see happen. So we've got to push the envelope if possible. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. And I'm glad you brought up more about the boards, because these 2 are 2 boards that we just approved are an example of some young people that may be able to sit on either one of them. And also those who are watching, we still have vacancies on other boards. So feel free to put in your application, but thank you for that. You've been talking about oral health for quite a while, so. So we'll move on to, we don't have any regular agenda items. We'll move on to consent agenda. Jeff?
Thank you, commissioners. So the consent agenda is fairly short today. Consists of items 1 through 11 in your packets. Item 1 is the actions of the county administration for August of 2025. Item 2 is a budget adjustment. This is budget adjustment number 37. This is for various state grants. This is helping to fund our QRT programs, quick response team programs in our addiction response area, the help center in the clerk of courts, and also in our restricted funds, there is an allocation of funding for the family access to integrated recovery programs through mental health. The total amount of the budget adjustment is $1.78 million. Item number 3 is a resolution amending Hamilton County's American Rescue Plan Act funding and reclassifying those dollars. This funding is being reallocated to Council on Aging, the Free Store Food Bank, and Eastern Personnel Services for the 513 bus. The total amount of the reclassification is $750,278. Item number 4 are bid awards and contracts awarded by the Purchasing Department for August, $624,182. Item number 5 is a credit card fee in the amount of $29. Item number 6 is the award of an invitation to bid to Rumpke for waste hauling services in various county buildings, $223,415. Item number 7 is a resolution authorizing the purchase of one Ford utility as a replacement in the sheriff's office, $42,867. Item number 8 is a resolution authorizing a then and now. This is through EMA. This is for electricity services for their sirens, $1,057. Item number 9 is an agreement with the Ohio State University Extension Office for a waste prevention grant with the Department of Environmental Services Solid Waste Management District, $1,198. Item number 10 is the monthly investment report of the treasurer for August of 25. Item number 11 is the request to travel at the county's expense. There is one, these are all in the coroner's office, one employee to Louisville, Kentucky, one employee to Indianapolis, Indiana, and one employee to West Palm Beach, Florida. And Commissioners, that is your consent agenda.
Thank you, Jeff. Any comments, Commissioner Reese? Questions or comments?
Yes, thank you. Item number 3 is the reallocation of the American Rescue Funds. And you mentioned Council on Aging. Can you tell us what's the amount, Council on Aging?
The
Trying to find it.
total amount, I believe, is, it's split, I think it's 300 and, let's see, I'm trying to find it here. Holly, do you have the total number for COA handy?
The Council on Aging is reallocated the amount of $363,139.02.
And it would be that same amount to Free Store Food Bank, right?
They get 1 penny more.
Okay.
1 penny more. Okay, I just had a couple things on this. For the Council on Aging, is this for the, which program? What is this?
This is for the utility assistance.
Utility assistant. Okay, so one of the things that and I learn everything every time we go on these different stops. Our senior event might have to be moved to a different time because Council on Aging was there, but they couldn't help anybody. And that's one of the feedbacks I got from people. They told people that the grants are at the certain time of the year and that the grants were gone. And so we want to make sure that when we're out there, the grants, or at least people can apply. It hasn't, I mean, to get the gas and electric help. And so that was one of the issues that I saw because I don't like no leaflet fairs where they just passing out some piece of paper. So I was concerned about that. The second thing, and now we're doing some money, so are all these already taken? Has this been accounted for and we're just paying it? Because it's just weird, we're voting today, but yesterday they said they out of money. They don't have.
This is just the board approving the reclassification. The agreements with Free Store and Council on Aging will come before the board probably in the next couple of weeks. So they don't have the money yet.
Okay, so then will it open up for new people? Because I know one time they came and said, oh, well, we already got a list of people. I just want to make sure I'm giving out the right information because there were several seniors there that wanted to talk to them about help.
If it's okay, Commissioner, can I get back with you and talk to the Council on Aging on that question?
Okay, that would be helpful. The other thing I wanted to say, Commissioner Dumas and Driehaus comes back to, I'm saying to Mr. Ludo, I think with seniors going through what they're going through, there are so many things that's coming up on their social media and phone calls being made to them saying that Washington has approved, you don't have to pay this anymore, or this is here, and people asking, just different people, different groups, get this, and it's so overwhelming, they don't know which one is fake and which one is real. And so one of the things I was looking at is, I was thinking we need to have a senior citizen ombudsman, or navigator person that you can call and they can, or you can sit down with and they can, I seen this on Facebook, is this true? They can tell you, no, that's not true, but this is available. So it's almost like if you don't already know, you don't get the help because you don't already know. And so I just think that I'd like to see that as we are reallocating or whatever we're doing. I want to see a person that our county can say, this is, if somebody calls me and say, I seen, or they call any of us commissioner offices, I seen this because I don't know if it's real or not either because, I'm not in it every day, but we can give them, and not 211 because they got everybody on 211, but somebody that can help a senior citizen know here is the whole menu of what is helpful. So I just wanted to put that out there as we're waiting to do a contract and all those things. I'd like to see something. They may have something like that, and if so, we need to promote it better. But I think that is very important because yesterday they were there and they told people that they don't have any more money this year. Money's gone. So told them don't call back to January. So I'm trying to find out. Then here we are a day later, and we're voting on money, and I don't know if this money's already spent or will it be available before January. So just trying to make sure we got the right information. Free Store Food Bank, I'm glad to see we're doing some things. That's very important. But I do want to, there are some pantries. I know that Pastor Quentin Monroe, they were asked about some pantries that are having some issues. Evanston. So can we just double check with them? Are they able, will this help them to be able to help those
I know they have
community?
contracts with a lot of different.
Yeah, I just want to know, will this help them? I know they were low on food, but will this, what we're doing, assist some of those smaller pantries that have asked about doing some things? So I just wanted to ask you on those. Maybe we can get more information. But I support it. I just want to make sure. And then they had asked us about some room. Jeff, maybe you could talk about this. They want to know if we had some space at our Mercy Health building that we'll be going into. Did we ever get back with them?
We've been talking with a lot of different people who have called about space at the Mercy Health building, and I think there was, I don't know how, but there were some folks that got the impression that the county had bought this building and was not planning on using all of it for staff, and so we've had to tell people that it's pretty much all built out. So people who have had their eyes on things where, gosh, we could use a floor for operations and warehousing and stuff, like, no, this is going to be entirely built out administratively. So we've gotten back to those folks and we're letting them know that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And also, as it relates to senior services, I just hope there are no gaps in services. Like I was hearing Holly say in a couple of weeks we're going to vote on the allocation, but if hopefully there has not been any gaps in services. But I wanted to say in general that the fact that we are reclassifying the ARPA money and making sure that none of it goes back from where it came from. We certainly have many needs, and I'm glad that the allocations are moving forward.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
I'm sorry. And on here, because I saw it had a Wi-Fi, and we had done broadband Wi-Fi. We did over $1 million, our board did. And Holly, did Avondale, I know we had RFP and all that. Did Avondale get something?
Yes, we had a contract with United Way to administer that grant on the board's behalf, and Avondale, did receive some grant funding. That grant is closing out, I think, at the end of this month, so we'll have more of a wrap-up report to provide the board with the results of that.
Okay. Well, two things on the broadband. One is we did some with Lincoln Heights, and I guess we get a report back what happened or if it happened or whatever ones we did. We did some other Wi-Fi grants, and maybe not today, Holly. I know you got all this information, but if we could get who we did and did they use it and what are we doing with it, and then Mr. Dumas, one of the things I will say that I was a little disappointed because when we did the Avondale, and I remember Avondale Development Corporation was the main one. I was working with them and everything, and we told them how to get into the system. We done voted for it. They get it, and then there was a press conference, and they said, we want to thank Alta Fiber, the supplier, but not the funder. And then we, I know my office did a lot of work, and we worked with Holly to try to get this done correctly, and then we wanted to make sure they were involved. And I just want to tell everybody, it is very important that when we do something, $1 million is nothing to sneeze at. And the fact that it was historic, first time in the history of Cincinnati and Hamilton County and Avondale that we ever had Wi-Fi in Avondale. This was history. And we didn't know anything about it, and Holly was equally upset. But I want to be public about it because our board has made some bold stuff. And we put time, each of our offices work on different things, and our offices put a lot of extra time in it. And then Holly and Jeff has to put it together. And we done all this, and it's historical. And then we go in and say, we'd like to thank Alta Fiber, the provider. I can't go with that. And I love them. But I want to say this was not the community council. So the Development Corporation, you knew our phone number when you wanted to apply and wanted to be a part of it and everything. And then once you got it, you said, oh, well, I forgot y'all. We're not going for it because it's too hard for us to get this kind of money. And to do the things we're doing in our county, we're doing groundbreaking stuff. And so I think we need to circle back on it and put something together, because this was a big thing for our board to do something like that. The first time in history of Avondale, they got Wi-Fi. It's gonna help the businesses, it's gonna help the community. And again, we'd like to thank, that's like us coming, I wanna thank Spectrum for sending me a bill. I mean, come on. We gotta get that in some order. So as we're doing these things, we want to let the people know to let us know when they implement. So we're not just there for the vote. We're here to make sure, because I want to look and see, did somebody get free Wi-Fi? We want to be able to be there for that as well. So, Commissioner Deuce, I'm sorry, I saw it on here and I wanted to bring that up because I think it's important.
Yeah. Item number 11, I just wanted to talk about, and I brought it up before. I see the coroners are going to different places. Jeff, and I just always need, because I think our last meeting, there were quite a few coroners going to different meetings. I know they have mandated training and things like that, but I'd like to know, and it might have been, usually look at the website when it has information about each issue or each item, and I didn't look this time, so I don't know if this is mandated or what, but I'd like to know, because there's been lots of travel out of that office.
Commissioner, this is one employee to the National Association of Medical Examiners, one employee to the Midwest Firearms Examiners, and one employee to the International Symposium on Human Identification.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Grant funded. Okay, that's good to know too, that it's grant funded. Yeah, that's important, yeah. And to go back to what Commissioner Reese was saying, how we do so much in this county, but sometimes the county gets forgotten. I was looking yesterday, and River Roots was doing this big interview, and they were talking about how it's going to be so great and everything, and they are working with the city. And I'm thinking about the money that we have given them, and they may ask, I don't know what the future holds for them, but I think they need to include the big partners, and the county certainly gave lots of money to them also. You need to call them on it. Mm-hmm.
I want to agree with you totally on this. Mm-hmm. And I think River Roots came in and we gave a lot of money, and now they've changed what they're going to be doing. Mm-hmm. They're going to have national people. They're going to have there was a lot in the grant that's not what is happening. What they came forward, they came forward and said, oh, the Black Music Walk of Fame, and found out they're going to put some stage somewhere else, and we're already open. We're already free. You know what I'm saying? And we had to get with them. And then it was kind of they was throwing everybody's names around. They're going to have John Legend, and they're going to have Janelle Monáe. It's been a lot of money. And they're not doing what they said they were going to do. Janelle Monáe ain't coming. Weaver ain't coming. A lot of people seem to be getting paid. I just want to make sure our money didn't go to a whole lot of consulting. Because we wanted to do it, like you said, to bring people here, celebrate. Our citizens can come to something free, bring visitors. That grant is designed to bring tourism. That grant is designed to put some heads in some beds so that we can get the tourism revenue. It's not designed to do what we already have. You know, we already have people doing stuff at Washington Park every week is some free stuff. Fountain Square, we already have all that. It was designed to bring people. It wasn't designed to design an app. We wasn't designed to put no app to show where the slavery sites were. That was not what the grant was. We were trying to bring heads in beds and bring people to our region. And there's a lot going on in Kentucky. I don't know what they put up, but it's a lot over in Kentucky. I think we need to have, Mr. Ludo, we need to have a check now that it ain't what it said it was gonna be. Someone from our office need to check and find out where is our money going? Where did our money go? And then since it's a smaller event, some money might have to be returned if you're not using it. You know what I'm saying? Is it what you wrote? Is it in the contract, or is it something else? So I agree with you. And then we're seeing it where we're not even, you know, maybe we're not a partner if they didn't invite us. Maybe we're going to return the money. I mean, maybe it's a smaller event. Maybe they're going to return our money, and maybe they don't need a county-wide thing. They're going to have something down on Fountain Square or something. But I have been very disappointed. There's been a lot of fanfare, a lot of hype. And then we come back and say, we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't. So I'd like for Mr. Ludo to go back and find out where our money is, and maybe, I don't know, maybe they've got I don't know what the plans are, but maybe they've got a smaller platform, Commissioner Dumas, and maybe our funding might be returned or not needed because they're going with a smaller platform. So thank you.
All right, thank you. No further business to come before the board. I'd like to make a motion to accept and receive for the record items 1 through 11.
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes.
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner
I
Dumas?
make a motion.
I'm sorry, I have one more thing, and you'll love this. I think you'll love it. I don't want to talk for you. I don't want to speak for you. I think you'll love this one. Both of us have been talking about a roller skating down in Hamilton County. And I forgot to say that I did meet with the Roller Skating Association locally. They do free classes, they do everything down by the boathouse. There's a skating rink. I asked Mr. Ludo to meet with them as well. We have, not to say we have just money flying away, but we had $5 million we were going to use for the women's soccer, and we didn't use it, contingency money, interest money rather. And we had $2 million we were going to use for Sundance, and Sundance didn't happen. And I'm not saying we're going to use all of that, but they have a good plan. I don't know if you had a chance to meet with them, but if not, I recommend Mr. Ludo have them meet with. They got a really nice, and it could be nationally acclaimed. It'll be right by where they are by the boathouse. It will be a partnership with parks. Now, this type of partnership, I'm interested with parks. But it would be a partnership with them. But they already are doing, they got a lot going on. They got drawings and so forth. I'll just ask Mr. Ludo if you would share those drawings with the commissioners and bring us up to speed. I know I'd ask you to meet with them and get the details. I don't have all the details, but I do want to, I want to look into that because I do think it could be something added from a tourism perspective as well. So just wanted to, I don't know if you might have already met with them.
I've not met with them, but I know the city. What is the status of their roller skating, what they're building?
I would have to follow up for you on that, Commissioner. I'm not sure.
Know that not to be redundant, but yeah,
Yeah,
certainly wanted that for sure.
Yeah. And I want to say that the city, I met with them and asked them about that because the city, because I'm a diehard roller skater, so I'm very particular. But the city came out with Findlay Neighborhood, 3CDC is going to do it. I think it's an $8 million. It's a you know how you have a multi-room? Today is some roller skates, tomorrow it's something else. It's not really from a skating perspective. They threw that in there because Over the Rhine had a skating rink, and when they wanted to take over the Rhine's rec center, the skaters came out, and so they said, well, what we'll do is have a multi-room and then do might have a little skating going here and there, but it was not, it's not a space. One, it ain't big enough, and then two, it's not enough space. So the skating association, they have been doing it down by Montgomery Inn near that Sawyer Point. It was a skating ring. It is a skating ring, but it needs some help with the cracks and kind of a facade piece and some sound. But they are making the best out. They do free classes and all that kind of stuff on a regular basis. So I'd love for, I don't know if Mr. Ludo had a chance to meet with them yet, but I did refer them to Mr. Ludo so he could get all of us their information.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Commissioner Summer Dumas?
Yes,
Commissioner Reese?
Yes.
thank you.